Yo, what's going on, and welcome back to another Genshin Impact video. And today we're continuing the Vishaps and where to find them. It's kind of like the last one, but I also don't know if we'll be able to claim the rewards if we send more people out, because I couldn't really get on before now. But why don't we set everything up like normal? I feel like it told me somewhere, I just don't remember what it told me. Because we got 3 hours left. Maybe we can figure it out real quick before we actually do anything. Event guidelines. When the event ends, you may no longer attempt the commissions. The event page will continue to be open for 3 days to better let travelers claim as yet unclaimed rewards. The epilogue. Okay, it doesn't make it clear whether or not you can actually receive the rewards or not, because it says the event page will remain open. Is this the event page? If it is, then that would make sense, I suppose. But let's go ahead and put up characters. What do we need? Is that good enough? Nope. What about that? What about that? Okay. And then do the double A tier. Sure, give me this Diluc. We don't need as much here to actually be able to pass. So, of course we're going to be talking about something else interesting, since there isn't a whole lot going on with this event. Especially, maybe we'll have the epilogue tomorrow. I don't know, like, I assume the epilogue is a mission that we haven't already done, but maybe the epilogue was just the last mission, which would be kind of a weird way for them to lay it out, but a possibility, I suppose. What do we have? Lots of weapon things. I think I need this one? I think I need this one. It doesn't matter too much to me because it's not saving a whole lot of resin, just saving a very small amount. Sure, use both of those characters. But the thing that I wanted to talk about, and I feel like it's kind of fitting, is what do you do once you don't really have anything left to do, right? On a daily basis, you're focusing on a few things, right? You're focusing on using your resin for the day, making sure that it's recharging for you so you can get the maximum effectiveness out of it. And then you're doing all your daily missions, which you can see I've already cleared. There's none on the map anymore. You do those daily missions, and then you got a few options. You can either log out and just call it a day, or there is some stuff that you can farm without resin, which I'm sure that some people know about, but maybe some newer players won't actually be aware of this. Because I don't know, I feel like people, it's not very popular for people to farm this stuff anymore, because a lot of people have the materials, right? But if you go up to this book up here, and I'm sure you completed the book, or if you haven't completed the book, this is definitely something for you to do. It'll give you like tasks for whatever part you are in the game, and as you do those tasks you'll get rewards and stuff. But when we move down, so here's all your daily missions, which I already completed. Here's your domains, which you can use to find where you want to spend your resin. And what is this? Oh, those are the weekly bosses that you want to make sure you do. And then you got your Spiral Abyss that you can always do. But the last page down here is, I think, very important, because a lot of your characters are going to require materials that are dropped by these things. So here you have things like Geovishap hatchlings, regular Geovishaps, you have Hilly Churl chieftains, you can hunt Fatui things, you can hunt Whopper flowers, you can hunt slimes, and they now made it so the book used to be organized by like Liyue and then by Mondstadt, but now it just appears to be everything, which I like more. And yeah, just it'll list their possible drops. It'll tell you a level. As they get higher level, they'll be more likely to drop these things, but you can click on them and see what it is. So like This item is only dropped by level 60 and higher slimes, so if you're not a high enough world level to see a level 60 slime, then you won't be getting the blue drops, but you'll be getting the smaller drops down here. But yeah, these items can be really valuable because you generally need them for leveling up, like ascending your characters or leveling up your talents, sometimes leveling up your ascending your weapons. I keep interchanging ascending and leveling up, but you get the point. Like, you are going to need these materials, so it's definitely on a daily basis. At least the ones you need, I would recommend maybe going through and doing some. Whopper flowers is something that I need because both Ganyu and Hu Tao have been draining my Whopper flowers because they both require books of diligence for their talents. They also both require Whopper flowers for whatever reason. And then Hu Tao's weapon, the deathmatch, also required Whopper flower nectar. So I've been running low on this. So it doesn't take very long to just go through and navigate to these guys. So you can see here, we just ran to the spot on the map. And I bring both Ganyu and Hu Tao because the fire ones are going to go down easier to my ice. And the ice ones are going to go down easier to Hu Tao. So then I collect it, but like, since I would do this fairly often, I know monsters that are nearby to some of these spawns. So like this one has a nice Geo Slime, a big Geo Slime. And the bigger slimes have better drops. So I like to kill the big ones if at all possible. I know that this one's always here. So I go ahead, kill this one as well. And once you start to learn some of these routes, you can definitely combine like multiple things. Like, I don't really plan on going to hunt slimes today, but if there's a slime on my way like that, then I don't see any problem with doing it. Now, if you want to access the book quickly without holding Alt and going up to the book, you can press F1 and it'll automatically take you back to the book, and you can go back down to whatever you were hunting. I don't know if there's a faster way to do this. I think you have to go into the book and hit navigate. I don't think there's like a next button for hunting the next monster. If there is, then if you could share that, that'd be cool because I'm just not aware of it. But you can see the last thing I hunted was here. So when I pick something new to hunt, it picks the closest thing that is on the hunt path. But it's important to note that there are monsters of the type that you're hunting that are not going to appear. So after you've exhausted all of them, there's still gonna be some Regis vines, or that's what they're called, right? Whopper flowers. The big ones are the Regis vines, like this right here is a Regis vine. But there's still some of the Whopper flowers running around in the world. The book doesn't tell you where all of them are. So like with Whopper flowers, for instance, I know about one that's above this Regis vine here. So when I'm hunting all the Whopper flowers, I like to always make sure that I go here because this one isn't ever going to be navigated to by the book, but it is a quick Whopper flower that I can kill and add more nectar drop possibilities in. And so if you can probably look up like a map that'll show you, and you can organize it to show you whatever monster you're hunting. But it's important to know some of the extra spawns. Like, so by this other Pyro Regis vine, I know about 2 more Whopper flower spawns of the Pyro variety. And so these are the 2 spots that I generally just go to every time I hunt Whopper flowers, because I know they exist and I know they won't be navigated to by the book. But there's definitely more. Like, I know one day I hunted almost like most of the things out in the book just to see what I could find and like explore the world a little more. And I don't really do that very often, but if you don't have a lot of materials, I would recommend doing something like that where you just hunt out the entire book, because it'll bring you all across the entire map to various places to hunt different monsters, and you'll find monsters that you wanted to be hunting but weren't registered in the book at other monster locations. So like, if I go hunt some hilly churls or the lava churl chieftains or whatever the heck they were called, I might find like a Whopper flower in that area that doesn't actually get navigated to. And so that's something to keep in mind. The more things that you hunt, the more likely you are to find other monsters there as well. But if you're just specifically looking for one thing and you want to completely hunt it out, I would go into the book, do everything in the book really quick, and then I would look up what's it called? It's like it's an interactive map, if I remember correctly, of Genshin Impact, and then you can organize it to show you where all Whopper flowers are, and then you just go to those locations really quick. Obviously, if you already used the book for one of them, then don't go to that one because it's not going to be back. They respawn on a daily basis. So the other thing you could do is just not use the book at all and just only use the map, because then you won't have the risk of accidentally going to the same spot twice and realizing you've already been there. But yeah, this is something that I would recommend doing pretty much no matter where you are in the game, unless all of your characters are literally maxed out that you want to be using. I would be regularly hunting stuff because this requires 0 resin and it is materials that you will need. There is no getting around needing these materials. And some things, like specifically the Whopper flower stuff, isn't all that common because you have to kill Whopper flowers. Like, there's no other way to get it. While something like a hilly churl mask is pretty common because every type of hilly churl drops it, right? So you're probably just getting it by doing your dailies and stuff, whereas there aren't very many Whopper flowers in dailies. So stuff like that. I like to hunt slimes too, just because you need a lot of slime materials. Lots of characters require it, lots of weapons require it. It's a very common material to need, and there's not too many slimes that you just randomly run into in the world. I would say they're a decently common enemy, but like hilly churl is pretty much the basic type of enemy, right? So slimes is something that I like to hunt. If we look in the book, stuff that's more rare, abyss mages, you can only get these Leyline sprouts and leaves and stuff from abyss mages. So that's definitely something that you would want to specifically hunt, because you're not going to get very much of this material otherwise. You could always hunt ruin guards because they have these exclusive chaos materials. Meta churls, not really necessary. You tend to get plenty of these things. Fatui agents could be something that's necessary. While all Fatui drop like these insignias, the Fatui agents specifically drop these sacrificial knives that some characters need, so that's something that you'll specifically have to go hunt. You can get more chaos materials from here. Geo Vishaps were really annoying for a long time because you only had the hatchlings, but with the more, whoa, I don't know why it just went all the way back. But with the more recent event here, you now have regular Geo Vishaps too. So it's kind of like the difference between small slimes and big slimes. The regular Geo Vishaps are gonna have a higher chance to drop more rare stuff and drop more items for you, but you can hunt both now, which you can't do with slimes. I feel like they should do that with slimes as well, have like mini slime hunting and then big slime hunting. But yeah, you can hunt both of these, because this material is pretty rare unless you're literally going out hunting Geo Vishaps. Like, that's something you have to be aiming for. Here you can see hilly churl chieftains drop the same stuff as the meta churls. You could get the Fatui stuff, but that's shared among all Fatuis. Whopper flowers are something that you pretty much have to go hunting if you ever need that material. I don't know why it just randomly resets on itself. I think you can... Treasure hoarder signias are pretty common just because lots of daily quests require you to kill treasure hoarders. The shaman materials can be kind of rare because only Sama churls of various types are going to drop them. There's no other ways to get these scrolls. But other than that, I feel like you get enough arrowheads that you don't specifically need to hunt for arrowheads. But if you are finding yourself with nothing to do, keep in mind that this book is here for you. And once you have, the top part's all like bosses and stuff that require resin, but once you get to here, the Sisson Mage, I guess the Sisson Mage also has specific materials that you need. But once you get to there, all of these are completely free. You can hunt these until it says that you can't hunt them anymore. Like if If I've hunted them out, then it has like a little clock on these guys and it says respawning in, and it'll show you like the daily reset time when these all would respawn. But even then you could look up more spawn locations for them and find even more of them. So one thing that I would make sure that you do if you're just out of stuff, or you think you're out of stuff to do, is hunt any relevant materials, or even just hunt everything if you want. That's definitely something that you could do. But either way, that's what I wanted to share today, because I think not everyone does this. I don't do it enough, definitely. I should probably farm more often. I try to at least every other day do it, but sometimes I get lazy just because, you know, it's a little samey going on the same path to hunt a whole bunch of whopper flowers. But it's definitely going to help you, because you can see here, once you get to the later talents, like I got my Hu Tao at 8, this is the thing that I would like to level up next. I need 9 of these blue things. And you could see when we were actually hunting the whopper flowers, we might have gotten 1 to drop, and we probably killed like 6 to 8 whopper flowers somewhere in that region. So it's gonna take you a few days just to get enough of this, like 2 or 3 days for 1 single skill up. Now granted, you are getting the smaller materials too that you can combine, but the smaller materials are worth significantly less, right? Like 1 of these blues is worth 9 of the whites. So the conversion rate is not that great, but either way, that is what I wanted to share with you guys today. Hopefully you found it useful. If you know of a way to do it faster than just going into the book and finding whatever the thing is, be sure to let me know, because I would be interested in any way that expedites this process. But either way, hopefully you enjoyed this one, and I will see you next time.